The strength of schedule, does it scare you?
Because you're playing quote unquote better football teams, and you always do a great job of kind of pointing this out. You don't know like now how the schedule is going to look at. I think the offense will be better. I think the defense will be better. I think the question is like how much you're going to see that in terms of wins and losses. Like, because again, you're playing better quarterbacks, you're playing better defensive coordinators. Like I think about the Minnesota Vikings and how befuddling that defense has been to top flight quarterbacks over the course of the last 2 years. This offense that Cliff has presented is befuddling. And I think at Jayden Daniels and his ability and what he did in the playoff game and how sharp he looked. And I know they lost the game, but like how that moment wasn't too big from him. Like, I just think like as a player, it's really hard to be up for 17 weeks of football. It's really, really challenging to do that. And so last year, I'm not saying there were like easy games, like, cause they're not, they're all tough. It's just the level of difficulty is ramped up a little bit. So can Cliff be locked in for 17 weeks? Can Joe Wood Jr. be locked in for 17 weeks? And most importantly, can the staff support Jayden Daniels to be locked in for 17 weeks? The mental fatigue that presents is really, really challenging. And I think we saw that a little bit with Houston and CJ Stroud. Like they ran it back. They had this great offensive innovator in Bobby Slowick. CJ Stroud was like the second coming of, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. Like that's the way it looked. But the offensive line took a regression from a schematic standpoint, and that affected CJ Stroud in a negative way. And CJ Stroud was still very productive, but people looked and said, oh, he had a down year.